Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Becky.
And this is Valerie. All my lights are touch sensitive, so I don't need a bank of switches, which I didn't want. So every single light is powered individually. There's not to each one, so I can have all 6 on, or 1, or individual, which was what I wanted. I didn't want to have to come back to a bank of switches and turn everything off. I can just turn it off where I want. I was sitting here and I was like, I just want that one on. I don't need all 6 lights on. So I took out all the old ones, installed these ones, and I love it. So if I'm sat here, I can reach and I've just got light for here. When we were measuring the height of this and this, I laid down, I was like, well, how, if I move my arm each way, how is it to get to? And also with the iPad, I wanted to be able to lay there and have the iPad at that distance. So I'd laid down, had my hands like this. My wife put her finger on the wall, so I knew exactly where to screw it. So when I'm here, it is literally perfect, and I don't have to hold it, and it's great. So when we bought the van, we came back and we found out my missus was pregnant. So the day that we bought the van, we knew we were having a family. So what was going to be the 2-seater sofa also acts as her cot. So this goes on the side. These come down. These are the anchor points. This is also the brains. So there's all the electrical work in there. When the van is driving, it allows the voltage switch to allow the current through. And then when the power drops, the switch turns off to make sure that your van battery doesn't drain. So it charges while we're going along. This is a battery charger. So when we're plugged into the mains, this charges the 12 volt through the 240 volt. And then this is the fuse box for all of the lights and everything around the rest of it. And then a small inverter, which you hardly ever use, to be fair. And then they're all the on and off bits, but again, they're always on. And hot water ready. These go in here. And we have 2 tables, one for each end, and they just drop on the top. These so the rails are on the inside of the windows in here, screwed in. And they're pretty good blackout curtains for when she's here. Got the same ones here, and they come across the cab. We have another blackout one that goes on the outside, and then insulation that goes into all the windows as well. Got a shelf up here, so it had to be cut into the lining, and then a bit of ply slid in, and then the front put on, and then all of it recarpeted to give us a shelf, because that didn't exist before. All the speakers have been upgraded, because all the speakers were paper before. So you've got 6x9s here, and then 6-inch door speakers, crossovers on the inside of the door, and then tweeters put in. And then you've got a 5-inch touchscreen stereo, which links to the reversing camera on the back. So the kitchen is actually off free cycle. So someone put it on free cycle, not wanting any more. It was wooden handles, I think it was white, looking a bit battered. So sanded it all down, bought grey kitchen paint, so when it dries it has like a silicone plastic type thing, so it's easy wipeable. Bought some new handles, IKEA top, and then cut these both in. So this, it's about £80 off the internet, so it's glass with rustic, which is quite nice. And then, this was off eBay as a kit. So you've got, and it just, at the moment, it just goes down into there, and it's got a gas bottle, but we've got LPG gas going in at the end of the month to make it all professional and signed off. We've got the breadboard on the inside of the door, so that's just hanging on a screw. And then we have more more cutting boards there, so for pork, chicken, vegetables, etc. And then just drawers. I've got my drone and camera in there, and then just more bread. IKEA on here, just easy picking bits. The range for you here, magnetic steel, so for you doing your toast, knives and a steel for sharpening. Always to know where the keys are as well. IKEA, but from Amazon. These are like £6 each or something, and they're literally just screwed and hooked on. So you've got tea, sugar, salt and pepper. So we've got 2 USBs and 2 plugs. Got another plug down here, and then off the back of that plug goes into this cupboard, which powers the TV, the 240-volt fridge and the microwave. When we're driving, we just literally, these are child safety ones, supposed to be for drawers and stuff, but it works perfectly for it not opening while we're driving. This was a new addition from eBay that we painted orange and screwed on. And this used to be grey, so we've painted these orange just to make it a bit of a flare to it. And then there's a mirror on the inside of here. 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves in here. As you can see, it's quite deep, so you can get actually a fair amount of storage in there. Again, with these, there's quite a lot of storage, so little ones bedding and towels in there. And then more storage in there, you can put your coats in there, magazines, games and whatnot, and they're all in there. It does annoy me that they don't open. I need to change that one day. So you do have to sort of lean over at the moment, but it's not too bad. And then this is more storage. And then in here, and we try not to use it, there's a toilet. So if you were really, really desperate, because there's no actually cubicle, you could slide it over there and just think of England. This is, you have to match it up, turn that, and once you tighten that black bit up, it's actually really sturdy. Without that, it's a little bit loose, but it's all good. And then this can go on here, so you can have it this way depending on what you're doing. I'm thinking of putting blackboard paint on this, and then you can do noughts and crosses or like hangman or whatever on there, but I'm not sure how it's going to look being having a black table, so we'll see. So for the bed, so we have a U-shaped lounge, which is what we wanted for relaxing in, and then there is actually a clip on there where we put this leg, but I'll put it out of the way for the moment. So this bit's quite important for little ones. So when this comes out and when it turns into a cot, this stops it sliding off the end. So this goes down this end. And then the 2 tables that we have been perfectly made to drop into here. And then this pulls out, that drops down, this pulls out. And then this one, now it's tight, just gets pushed into shape. And then that's it. We put a cover over the top, and then it's a 6 foot by 6'3" bed. So the TV can come out in different angles. It can go into the corner if you're cuddled up in the other corner. So that will sit if it's here or there, and then it can fold back in quite nicely against the wall for driving, and it's quite flush, I think. This was a later install. We put our cameras on there, the drone will go on here. It's just easy access stuff. I didn't want cupboards, I wanted to just be able to throw something on there and it put it out the way. And then from the back, if you were coming from the back, so our barbecue goes in here, which you can access from the side, and then this comes out, and then you can slide stuff all the way through. So if you've got, if you had fishing gear, or we put our event shelter in there, and then that can come out, or if you've got any wet gear, you can just throw it in there for the moment, and then that just goes back in again. And then we're slowly but surely sticker bombing in the back, because we didn't want the white van doors on show all the time. So you can buy these bumper packs from Amazon and eBay. It's like 300 stickers for about £4. And then when you're a bit bored, you sit there and put some stickers on. Do you know about the bumpers, how to make them black? Shoe polish. Cherry blossom black boot polish. Take the cap off, pour it into a plastic cup, put a rubber glove on, get a sponge, and you can bring all of your bumpers back to black. Okay, so we have a 70 litre Fiamma water butt here. So on the other side of this is a 40mm tube that goes into the water butt, so you can just undo that. And there's also a breather tube as well, which is about 10mm. From that, it links to a water pump, which is something like 40 PSI. I put this on, and then my friend, who's an auto electrician, cable this up, and then we have a bike rack that goes on the back. I go mountain biking, and then the steps that go up, and then there's rails on the top, and we also have a roof box, and then we actually put our logs and stuff in there for the fire pit when we have it. And I also had this made. So a friend of mine is a metal worker, and before I had this, he made this for me. So this is for bikes hanging off the back. So you take the front wheel off, and then the forks go into here, and so it hangs from the forks. The bikes, both height bikes, hang down, and then you just put the back wheel around this bit, and the bikes hang off the back. Got a doormat, cut it lengthways, and then trimmed the end off so obviously it fitted in there, and then used the high intensity spray glue to get it in there. And then because there's a raised floor, there's battens, a web of battens roughly in place where I knew I wanted everything, and then 25mm Celotex. And then over the top of that is the foil backed bubble wrap, which has added like a sort of a sound deadening, because then you've got the ply on top of that, and then the flooring on top of that.
I hope you enjoyed that content. If you hadn't noticed, we do have an ebook that we sell, and the link is just in the description. It contains 160 pages crammed full of practical advice, walkthrough information, electronic schematics and part lists, which will make your job a lot easier for doing a van conversion, and it will save you time and money. Also, we've created special videos for the ebook which enable you to see walkthroughs for how to do loads of things in a van conversion. So that's for water systems, for your electrics, for how to do simple woodwork joints that anyone can do. I really believe that anyone, regardless of their experience, can make a half decent van conversion. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you watching our content, and we put a lot of effort to make it interesting, informative, and find those cool projects that feature on our channel. Consider subscribing, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.